when what is national media, that definition has to be clarified first. And this television rating point is still in the age of 2000, when we are sitting and discussing on 2025.
See, a national media must not be defined by how many people. It is about quality people across the world. I mean, I think both of you and me are on the same page that the national media has to look at the nation.
Sorry to say, their idiocy, they are shouting and giving the justification that in West Bengal, the audience, they love to watch shouting.
The unfortunate side of the story is because of the presentation style. First, it has become a laughing stock. The whole media lost credibility for that. Hi, I'm Pratim Ranjan Bose, and you are watching Podcast with Pratim, presented by Iravati Research and Communication Center, or IRCC. This is the second episode of my discussion with Prasenjit Bakshi, fellow journalist, friend, and consulting editor of India's state media, Doordarshan News, or DD News. Welcome, Prasenjit. So we had a discussion on social media in the last episode, in the first episode. In this episode, we will get deeper onto the issue of media. Prasenjit, India has grown exponentially over the last 30 years. In the last 10 years, the GDP doubled. Northeast is no more a godforsaken land. We know, some of us, both you and me, have tracked it for quite a long time. They have purchasing power. As the militancy has gone down, they are purchasing heavily, and they're extremely aspiring people. You know, if we all know that Guwahati changes, the landscape changes in every 1 year or 2 years. Loads of startups have come up. People are trying, very educated people. Earlier they were working, in other parts of the country or in abroad, and they have come up trying something new. But I'm just giving this reference not for Northeast. If we see the economy is getting bigger, the more entrenched, more complex. But if we look at the bureau strength of Indian media, the national media, I'm not saying one or two maybe having, but not entirely. But it has shrunk actually. It is not proportional to the growth of the economy. We know the reason. The finances, revenues are, it is basically revenues. But the results are too bad. Let me talk about financial media. Now, financial media is a serious yardstick because, the economy is getting bigger and so complex. People are participating in the economy, growth oriented. Say, even if you look at Calcutta, there were 100 plus financial journalists. Today, there's barely 10, 12, if not less. What's your take on this? How it is affecting?
Look, the point is that it has a two dimension. Calcutta is one thing, and the Northeast India is another.
Calcutta, if you look at financial media, it is mostly now centered. If you look at the coverage, mostly Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, and some Chennai and etc. It is not growing out, which it should.
True. True, but I'm just differentiating Kolkata with the rest of Northeast India from the perception of those who are sitting in Delhi or Mumbai. It is unfortunate, but this is truth. This is truth what I have faced in the last 35 years. The point is that what is national media, that definition has to be clarified first. A media with Hindi language, we without thinking anything, we call it a national media. A media with English language, without thinking anything, we call it or it is published from Delhi, we call it a national media. The problem is that everything is revenue driven, as you have said. So at one point of time, when Calcutta had the capacity to generate revenue, financial journalists were there.
Has grown. There are startups, young, educated people. But where is financial journalist? I don't see a single financial journalist in
No,
Northeast. But there was
I'm
in the
telling you
past.
why not. I'm telling you why not. Because if you come to television media again, everybody of us know the term TRP, television rating point. And this television rating point is still in the age of 2000, when we are sitting and discussing on 2025. So things have changed a lot, but the system of counting the TRP same. They consider, if we divide the 100, they consider Mumbai in the top of the list. They consider Baroda in the top of the list. They consider Bengaluru in the top of the list. They consider Hyderabad at the top of the list, because only one single company is there, that is BARC, and they don't do the requisite amount of groundwork to find out and this weightage, this weightage is depending on the financial ability of that area. Mumbai has the financial ability, that means the create commercial revenue from one city. So they have not properly gone through the reality that how much advertisement or revenue Northeast can generate, and what should be the weightage of TRP for the Northeast. They have not studied it properly. So in an era when a Madhya Pradesh couple, they are going there, some incident is happening, and the
Meghalaya thing
media
is very
sitting in
unfortunate.
Delhi,
Very
exactly,
unfortunate.
and the media sitting in Delhi or Mumbai, they are talking about boycott Meghalaya. How can you expect that they will keep a bureau or a
I mean,
financial
it is as
journalist in
good
Northeast India?
as good as someone has gone to Mauritius and did a crime. So you boycott Mauritius.
Exactly. Exactly. Even 2025, such type of a situation, after so many effort of the present government since 2014, so many things have changed in Northeast India. Again, when in our previous episode, we were talking about the social media bloggers, those who are travel bloggers, they have done wonderful thing to expose Northeast India to the rest of the world,
Yes,
because
yes.
the rest of the India, they did not have any idea that what is Hornbill festival in Nagaland is. They used to think that Naga people still are headhunters. They do not know Northeast India was only.
Arunachal has started marketing its tourism for, they are not going for mass tourism. They are going for niche tourism. Okay. And they are depending only on bloggers. You won't see Arunachal
That should
tourism
be. You know
advertisements.
that in Meghalaya, by Shillong, they have the world record of joint guitar guitar. What it is called, I don't know exactly. The thousands of guitarists, they are playing guitar 5 minutes in the same tune.
In India, when Michael Learns to Rock visited India, all bands.
He talked about Shillong.
Of course, all bands go to Shillong. Even, they may go to Delhi and Shillong. Shillong is first on their priorities.
So that is the thing. This is what I was telling you in the beginning of this episode, that first we must define that what is national media.
Yes, I agree.
Because
on that.
Because that I'm not talking about English newspaper, as I'm in television media for so many years. The English television viewer is 0.4% of the entire television viewer, news viewer. 0.4%. Now,
no,
this is the
here
condition.
I am just here. I have a point. See, a national media must not be defined by how many people. It is about quality people across the world. Quality
No,
viewership,
that's true.
quality
That's true.
audience, and your national media is actually what when someone from abroad will try to know about India, they will go for this big brand. So when you try to know about America, so you go to New York Times,
No, that's
or
true.
Time, or
That's true.
Economist.
For a domestic viewer, the problem is that for a domestic viewer, when a television channel is giving a breaking that Kochi police commissioner has changed, now sitting in Guwahati, what he will or she will do with the change of Kochi police commissioner?
So I mean, I know because I worked in a national daily, and it's there were news of some small scale, some municipality news, some news of the of my headquarters state. That's useless. There has nothing to do with me. So anyway, these are the problem areas. But the basic core thing that we are discussing is correct. I mean, I think both of you and me are on the same page that the national media has to look at the nation. They cannot just go for some one or two or three
No,
centers. And
that is the thing. What they do, they show more stories of Maharashtra because that has a more TRP weightage. They show more stories of Gujarat. I am talking about the Hindi news channel. They show more stories of Gujarat because they have a, better weightage
revenue
of
traction.
TRP there in Gujarat. Exactly. So that is the thing. And they show
So
West
this is
Bengal
what
whenever
I
there is
was
any
trying to tell. I understand your point. What I was trying to tell is that this way, in my understanding, the media, the white coverage the media used to give. I mean, I worked in a newspaper where they were very kind of, I should say, they were very neutral and tried to look at a national coverage. We had correspondent in Guwahati in those days, 25 years ago. Okay, a financial daily. So, unfortunately, what I see is that while India grew, media, the top media, contracted in its
even
coverage.
exactly now you will find hardly any permanent employee in Guwahati of so-called all these national
So
channels
that is why I
or
gave
the
you the
newspapers.
example of Calcutta. That if you can avoid a
uh,
metro city, you can avoid any other
uh,
place. Okay,
exactly.
let's go to
And
the
there is another we can do a episode after episode. Here we can discuss things about the agencies, that how agencies are spreading their tentacles, and the newspapers or television media, they are squeezing and shrinking their expenditure
agencies are also
depending
not
on.
doing. Agencies are also not
No, no,
doing.
no, not doing. But even then, the authority, the
You
management
are
is thinking that
depending
when we
on
are
cheaper
paying to
option.
agencies,
You are depending,
cheaper
you don't
option,
have your
exactly, cheaper
no, no,
option,
no. You are looking at cheaper options simply. So that's my second
exactly.
question. Is that see, and I would like to like a brief discussion on this, not long because we have to cover it in time. Is geopolitically, India is becoming more. India's geopolitical interests are growing. We all know that. The show that I run, geopolitics, one reason is it has more viewers. Okay. So there is audience for geopolitical news. Now, unfortunately, we all know, even if we look at the foreign media in India, the bureau heads are essentially foreigners. Okay. Let's look at Indian media. You look at Bangladesh, you look at any other place. We have very limited Indian staffers outside India. Okay. In Bangladesh, unfortunately, even the state media, even the agencies, okay, which is not really state agency, but well, it's kind of quasi. So they also don't have Indians in as bureau head. I think there is a serious compromise on because you have to have a national interest in media. I think it is getting compromised. What is your take?
This is another big story. You know
Quick.
that the point is that at one point of time, the Indian media was managed and ruled by a group of people who essentially used to think that what is of Indian, that is a bad thing. So what is coming in some foreign newspapers, particularly some Western newspapers, that is the Bible, and all us are bullshits, and we don't know anything, and we are stupids. So they dependent more on the foreign media persons than their own media persons. So apart from this is not always reducing the expenditure. This is not always that. This is a self type of a, what should I say, that a suicidal attempt, that whatever our correspondent can do, the foreign correspondent can do better than that. This is a very bad thing, and this is continuing even now. But now what has happened, that in all those countries like Bangladesh or Pakistan, in those countries it is very difficult to keep any Indian as a staffer, because for the situation, whatever is going on, so they
No,
try to avoid
see,
it.
if you say that, maybe over the last 11 months it would have been difficult, right? But what about the 15 years before that? Why there was no Indian bureau head, even for the state media? It was not there.
What is
So
the state media? What is state media?
I mean, say for example, All India Radio, right?
No, they do have.
They do have staffers, but locally engaged.
No. Indian there. Indian.
I am actually trying to avoid
The
taking
state
names.
media.
No, I'm trying to avoid taking names, but about the agencies and etc., the Indians are mostly exited in the 90s. It is mostly run by.
But
So what I
if
see
you
is that, forget about
think,
state media. I mean, then even if we look at the regular media, so there is we have actually gone for the cheaper option.
This is a type of an inferiority complex. This is a type of an inferiority complex approach towards own country. The people who were there at the helm in till the 2000 or 2010, those who were at the helm of affairs in Delhi or Mumbai, they used to suffer from inferiority complex from their colleagues itself. So they used to think that if I send somebody as a staffer to China, or China had 2 or 3 Indian staffer, but in other countries like Pakistan or Bangladesh or Nepal
You
or
used to have,
Maldives or
there
Sri
was a time
Lanka,
when you used to have Indian staffer in Pakistan, and
uh,
of course in China. Times of India had Indian staffer.
now I think that China has given door to
But
all
I
Indian
think also
correspondents.
one thing played, Prasenjit, is that, if I am a foreign correspondent based in Dhaka, I mean, working for an Indian newspaper. So from an Indian, I'm a staff. I've been recruited for Dhaka. I'm an Indian, will go and take charge of Dhaka. So I would have been treated as a second-class citizen compared to the fellow in Delhi. And forget New York.
Right.
Whosoever lives in New York is colonial mindset, typically.
It's a colonial mindset, exactly.
But I believe it is doing us serious harm. I believe it is doing us serious harm.
And that is why what is happening, the reports which are coming from those countries is not the proper picture of the reality.
No way. It cannot be. It cannot be. I'm telling you, when Northeast was troubled, there was one Calcutta-based English paper. Okay. So their journalists used to go visit for 10, 15 days and come back because it was difficult to report from there and sit there. That was the right approach. But we are not even, we are not doing that. It's very, very left to the, I mean, even for the mainstream, we are just taking a very easy way out. And I fully agree with you. The reports are extremely compromised. That is what I see. in the economies. But I
Exactly.
believe it is
Exactly.
time when Indian papers should have reporters, staffers in Jakarta, staffers in these places, because that is where your business interest, your political interest, your
Exactly.
defense
Hmm.
interests are
Hmm.
going. So
Hmm.
anyway, now just
Kuala
let's.
Lumpur, Singapore, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Hong Kong, Jakarta, all these places should have our staffer, Maldives, Sri Lanka,
We don't.
Colombo, and all these, because our business interests so neatly bonded with all these countries, the proper picture of those countries should come out.
Yeah, if you just depend on the Bloomberg now, Bloomberg has its own, or Nikki Financial, they
No,
have their own kind of politics in it. So you should not. Let's
exactly.
go get local, Prasenjit,
Hmm.
about television. So,
Exactly. Hmm.
you invite me, and people invite me on television. I speak, but I personally don't watch TV much. I must admit this. I am getting the news anyway. One of the problems is this high decibel talk show culture in parts of Indian TV. I'll not say everywhere, but parts of Indian TV. And unfortunately, this is a norm in Bengali television. Okay. So, how do you look at it? I mean, why can't we get a little better format? I mean, I must say, I'm not a great admirer of Bangladeshi media, but their talk shows are talk shows where people talk, they don't shout at each other, right? So you can at least hear them out. Why not? Why don't we have that culture in over here?
This is maybe the inherent character of Bengali of shouting for anything from Nicaragua to Sandesh Khali, sitting in tea shops. Maybe that is the television is reflecting that character of Bengalis. I mean, Indian Bengalis. Uh, Maybe for that, but I believe that this is a shortcut method of filling the airtime or creating the software. Uh, Not only the decibel factor. If you go by the television in West Bengal, mm, the creation here, I would come to the word creator. That there is a television has some entertainment angle also in
Has to be. It's a
24
visual
into
medium.
7 in 24 into 7 channel in news channels also there should be some sort of entertainment, some sort of news which is
I
produced in
think
a
we have a
sort of
word here,
entertainment.
infotainment.
Exactly. So now the point is that to create real audiovisual content, you need to think. You need to think in a big way. Let me tell you one thing. That day, I was passing through Baliganj, Fadi. You know the Baliganj Fadi. There, in a light post, I saw a small placard written over there, a phone number, and call to this number for cash from credit card. Do you know that this is a profession in Kolkata? If you ask one television reporter that do a story on this with an audiovisual perspective, now you need to think so many things from this particular news point. So unfortunately, I must not say in such a way to my for my colleagues, but unfortunately, in West Bengal, those who are leading the television channel now, they are not television person, quote unquote. They are 100% newspaper person, and they have failed to convert
Ah,
themselves from the newspaper to television.
But
They
how
are
can it be,
just
Prasenjit? How can it be book? Because well, our generation, yes, we came from news. I didn't work in television. You worked, but you came from newspapers, right? But
yes.
today's generation is mostly first time TV, last time TV generation.
No, but still the management is filled with those journalists who were in newspaper. So now, as they have not able to convert themselves from newspaper journalism from television journalism, so the training process is not going percolating to the lower level. So that is why this is happening.
I don't know whatever
Again,
it is,
again in the
but
first
I believe
in the first episode we have talked about the training. Here also you need a training. Now
I believe,
here
Prasenjit,
also
someone told them that shouting this typically what we call in Bengali kaltolar jhagda, sort of. Okay,
no. Let me tell you that
that might be
let
getting
me
TRP.
name some. Let me drop some names. In Indian television journalism, Arnav was the first person who started shouting beyond the limit of sound pollution. Now, Arnav has all quality of shouting in that way, whatever he is doing, because he knows the things, he
He
knows
knows
the
the art and
subject,
science of television.
television, right? Now the point is that
When
if
Arnav
another
speaks in
person,
other forums, he is a fantastic, nice, cool, calm
exactly,
speaker.
exactly. But the point is that if the other person he thinks that I will imitate Arnav Goswami, that cannot be.
No, fair enough. Okay, but I'm somehow I'm of the opinion that someone told the TV channels that shouting brings more audience. I do agree
No, no,
with
no, no,
you
no,
that
no, 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 no.
when you don't have
Hmm.
logic,
Exactly.
then you shout.
Someone told, someone told them that
And I really don't like this
if
voice
in television you
modulations.
shout,
If you hear,
survive in television you shout as you do not have logic. It is
television is
not
not a
that you
theater. Television is not a cinema or a theater. Television, why the anchor has to modulate his or her voices to different levels? Why he has
no. It is
to
need
run
not.
around?
It
I
is
don't know.
not needed. It is not needed. Absolutely not needed. But to suppress their sorry to say their idiocy, they are shouting and giving the justification that in West Bengal the audience they love to watch shouting. Basically, they don't. The
Yeah,
audience
my
don't.
personal experience is people are no longer liking these TV debates. They are fed up
No,
with.
absolutely, absolutely. This has a two three reasons. One is shouting. Another is the same person talking about. Again, I am saying that talking about
On
Nicaragua to
everything.
Sandesh Khali, everything, and
Uninformed
the
debates. Very uninformed debates takes place in television.
uninformed debate and academically very poor, information wise very poor. So they are self satisfied that we are shouting and so we are successful.
Okay, let's to wrap up. Let's go to the last question, which is linked to the last one we discussed. Now, I had recently been in Bangladesh, and you know that I track that country. Now, here is a problem area. Bangladesh doesn't know English, so they watch Bengali TV. They watch Bengali newspapers. They look at this. So that is now playing the role of the national media to Bangladesh. And in that media, we have rightly tried to speak for the minorities there who are under tremendous pressure. It is a fact. Unfortunately, at least one TV channel, we will not take name, but one TV channel that spoke, they spoke rightly. If I look at the content list, the incidents that they mentioned, in fact, I got it enumerated by someone, there are 10-15% misses. The unfortunate side of the story is because of the presentation style. First, it has become a laughing stock. The whole media lost credibility for that. Because the other party, they tried to paint it as that this is, they are just rubbish. And minorities, they claim that this is not coming to our use. Please tell them that this is a serious issue. They must not dilute it. They must discuss it with all sincerity and seriousness. So, what's your opinion? Very quick opinion. Give me.
This is true. That Bangladesh, their Bangla is their language. So they need not to learn English, as many countries they survive on their own language, like Japan or France or Germany. So now this is another unfortunate thing is that for the people of Bangladesh, West Bengal is the is India. Kolkata is the
to
is the ultimate
5%
place. That is their
Bangladesh
problem.
Kolkata is in West Bengal is India.
So that is their problem. But what you are mentioning, yes, this has happened since August 2024 or July 2024. That one particular channel in West Bengal, in the name of savior of the minorities of Bangladesh, they have actually damaged the future of Bangladesh, because the other part of the Bangladesh, I mean other population of the Bangladesh, they thought that whatever this particular Bengali channel is showing, that is the national policy of Bharat as a whole.
If you look at their official clarification, so they are using it to
that name of that particular channel.
The attention.
They know it very well that if we bring out the reference of this particular Bengali channel, then our purpose will be served in Bangladesh. So they are doing that, though they know it very well that one small Bengali channel cannot be the
no, see, that is again, there is a problem. You see, you say that a small channel. Unfortunately, in the days of social media and YouTube, so your links go.
No, small channel means I am not talking about size of that. That one, we have 400 news channels in India. Out of that 400, only one channel in Bengali, they are showing. In that sense, I am saying a small channel.
It is the theatrics which is really affecting. Which is really affecting and not doing any good either to India or to minorities in Bangladesh.